Okay, so in the previous examples that we talked about, we found the probability given a z-score. Now we're going to do the opposite and we're going to find z given a probability. So I just want to point out in this, this will make sense when you look at what we're doing with the z-table and with the Excel, that these tables and this Excel function are for standard normals. That is, you've taken values and you've standardized them. You've turned them into a z-score. And that should make sense because we are given z, right, a standardized value, and we're trying to find out what the or excuse me, that's what we're trying to find given a probability. So we're trying to find z. So it should make sense that we're working with standard normals here. So there's two ways to do this. I'm going to show you real quick how to do it in the table. So in your table, right, you can find the first part of whatever it is that you're looking for in terms of figuring out what the z is, and then the second part based off of the probability that you're given. So let's assume that we're given a probability of 0.9. We're going to figure out what that z-score is. So basically what you do is you'd go through and you'd look at all of the different probabilities and try to find it. So the thing with this is there's limitations because sometimes you won't find the exact p probability in the table. So if we're looking through here, we're noticing that these numbers are increasing here. We get to 0.8997, and then the next value is 0.9015. So it's somewhere between these two values. So again, that's a limitation, so we're not going to get the exact z value, but we'll get a value that's close enough to it. So if we figure, okay, it's somewhere in here, it's closest to this value, so this is the one that we're going to use. That's equal to 1.28. So that would be the answer, 0.128. So like I said, there's limitations with the table because sometimes you don't get the exact z value or the p value depending on which way you're going. But Excel's a little bit better. It's a little bit easier. So let's see how to do this in Excel. So we're going to use the, right, it's over here. This is ultimately what we're going to do. We're going to use the norm.s function like we did before. Remember, we used the norm.s to figure out the probability given the p-value. Now we're going to do the opposite or the inverse. So that's actually what the function is, norm.s.inverse. So that's norm dot s dot inv, and it only takes one argument. It takes the probability, which is 0.9, close parentheses, hit enter, and we get 1.281552. It keeps going. So you can see that that's the value that we found in the table, but it's a little bit different because the exact value in our table wasn't there. But again, it's close enough. So that's how you do that.